I grew my app from zero to $143,830 in 4 months. And here's exactly how I did it so that you can take notes, apply it to your own business. And this isn't just applicable for apps, but anything you're selling online. So, to start, my co founder and I started this app on August 1st. And so far, we are at a pretty nice area of around $60,000 a month. As you can see, we are getting quite a bit of sales all the time, which is healthy. To show you the start, this is where it all started. We have August 3rd, where our first video went out promoting the app. And how did this happen? Well, I created a video on my personal brand, which for those who don't know, I run Casper Capital, which is a pretty large brand. I will show you in 1 second. This is the first video we posted, and this is my brand, Casper Capital, with 2.7 million followers. I made a video about a class action, which is kind of what our app does. And I talked about how people can make money from this false advertising that the company Poppy has done. As you can see, the video didn't do extraordinarily well. It got a lot of views, but it didn't convert that highly because I learned something. That class action had a payout of like $17, and that wasn't enough for people to pull the trigger, download our app, and actually pay for it. So even after making this video that got 150,000 views, we only generated about, I don't know, like $500, not even, from this video. So that showed me we have to change something because that is not enough to be satisfied. We have ManyChat automations, which facilitated this whole thing. For those who don't know, ManyChat is a software that DMs people after they comment on your Instagram videos. So what we had going on, for those who don't know, a little bit of insight. This is what we sent people in the DMs when they commented Poppy on our video. Hey, I saw your comment. Here's an app to file for class action settlements from companies. And then I linked my app to it. We got 649 clicks from that automation. But guys, are we going to be satisfied with $60 days, $100 days? Absolutely not. And how are we going to change this? Well, we have to pivot. That video was cool. It got a lot of views, but it didn't convert. So we tried a different angle on the video. That resulted in a $500 day. I'll show you that different angle. So I guess the lesson here is views don't always equate to sales. Likes don't always equate to sales. Comments don't always equate to sales. And you should be tracking this in whatever way you can, whether it's attribution links or it's just watching the data very, very closely. So this video I made was watch me make up to $800 in just 30 seconds. I talked about the idea of class action settlements and how people are usually missing out on a lot of them and should be paid out by a lot of them. And I go through the different ones in our app. So I had a call to action to comment claim on the video, again with ManyChat. And guys, take a look at this. This first one got 1.1 thousand people to comment. This one, was it this one? I think it was actually this one. Yeah, I think it was this. Let's see by the thumbnail. Yeah, this one got 2.6K people to comment and 2,000 clicks. So clearly, people were a lot more interested after watching this video. So what did I do here? Well, after seeing the revenue increase, because this is what I was keeping my eye on, we are doing multiple hundreds of dollars a day. So I leaned into that. I made another video similar to this, but I tried a slightly different angle. So I kept the whole idea of, hey, frame it as a side hustle in your ad. But what you're going to want to do is play around with variables. So I showed class actions that are big name companies, but people don't really make a lot from the class actions. Instead, here I swapped it for class actions that pay a lot of money, but aren't necessarily the biggest companies that people know. And would you look at that? We did a $1,000 day on the day of posting, followed by 700, 600, 600, etc. Okay, we learned another lesson. Payout amount is more important than the awareness of people that they have for the brand. So if it's a well-known company, it's not as important as how much they are paying out. So then we had a little bit of a fun time here. This wasn't caused by videos per se. I think I maybe made 1 or 2 videos in the month of September, but we did rank for a certain keyword on the App Store, and that drove probably 20,000-ish in revenue total. And that was my co-founder's work. I gotta give it to him. He pulled a good one. And after this beautiful time where we were just riding off of search volume or search on the App Store, kind of died off, and it was time for me to get back to promoting the heck out of this. So our next videos did fairly well. Another $1,000 day, $600, $700 days. And this is kind of like I say a boring period. Where things really get exciting is when we have these massive spikes to 2,000, 2,200, 2,300, 4,000, 5,000, and 4,000. So to keep it simple, I'm not going to bore you guys. What we did here is I just kept making videos on my account. Thing is, you can't make a video a day. You can't make a video every 2 days. You will saturate your audience very, very quickly. So if you're working with influencers, an important thing is to not overpost, because if people see an ad for the same company over and over and over and over again, they're gonna swipe the second they see it. So you kind of have to space it out and have them make videos from slightly different angles here and there, so it's not consistent. The brain is an exceptional tool at recognizing patterns. So the more you can mess around with that so it doesn't seem like an ad and it doesn't seem like it's for this company, the better. So here's what we did. I made more videos. But how do these videos make more than $500 or $1,000 each time? Well, I didn't make the same videos. I'll show you. This video created a massive spike in downloads. I think we did $4,000 when I posted this. Let's see. This is October 27th. And we did 2.2K. And we did 2.3K the next day. So this video alone generated around $4,500 in the first 2 days. Then it kind of dropped off to like $1,000 a day. Why was this video different? Well, I tried a different style. I went back to talking about the class action, individual class action itself. However, I attacked it from an angle that was already proven to work. So I talked about one company, their payout, but from the angle of a side hustle, which, as you guys have seen previously, this was just talking about the company, not talking about the side hustle angle. This is talking about the side hustle angle, but not one company, just a bunch of them. One company, a bunch of them. And then here, I made a video about one company, but from the angle of, hey, this is a side hustle where you can earn a lot of money, not just from this company, starting with talking about one company, but going into talking about multiple companies later in the video. And it popped off. It didn't do just well on Instagram. It also popped off on YouTube, getting 212,000 views over time. And this was magical. This was amazing for the growth of the app. And as you can see, all you have to do is just continue to learn and iterate on what works. Our brains, like I said, are tools at finding patterns. So use it. Look at the patterns, use the scientific method, for lack of better words, isolate variables as much as you can, create independent variables, and then see what causes the dependent variables to go up, which is revenue, which is what you were optimizing for. So I found a winning topic, and this was the best few days that we've ever had. Then what happens here? I end up deciding to invest into other influencers. What we did is I leveraged my personal network to have a few videos go out in the same day. This also got us ranked and charted on the App Store for finance. And we did 4.5K in that day. Crazy thing is, Out of that 4.5K, I think 3.5K of that was from my video, and only 1K of that was from the influencers' videos. But regardless, that pushed us onto, charting on the App Store, which potentially could have gotten us some sales as well. And I spent, I think, 1,500 on this push, and we made 4.5K. Did we net profit on it? Maybe, maybe not in the following days, knowing that like 3.5K of that in the first day was from my video. But regardless, the rebuilds are going to hit and we're probably going to ROI. And even if we don't, it's business. You take risks. You have to take risks. You have to spend money to make money. And you have to be okay with losing money, because maybe you work with 10 influencers and 8 of those flop, but the 2 that pop off will pay for 20 times over what you paid that one influencer, which will net you a 2x ROAS or 3x ROAS, right? So we scheduled a bunch of videos on one day. Then I continued to make videos here and there. And then we had an influencer. I made a video. I think it was around here. I made a video on class action with YouTube. It did well. We did 2.3K and then we did 3K in a day. And what I did next was honestly very, very shocking to me. And what it was is we had an influencer recreate my video almost word for word, background for background, like as close as possible, in their own style. Like, that's not the only thing that makes up a video. It's like the pacing of what you're saying, your hand motions, things of that sort, and I guess the way you look. And guys, this shocked me. We did 5K in a day. How much of that was from the influencer? I don't know, because we can't attribute everything as clearly as people think. But I'd have to say that a lot of it from that day was from that influencer. As you can see, the spike down was pretty great. We went down to $2,000 the next day. However, I saw that there was proof of concept. What did I do? I noticed a pattern. If I make a video and it does well, and I give that script and that whole topic to another influencer to recreate, what's going to happen? Well, it's probably going to do well as well. So that's kind of like the step-by-step that I'm rocking with right now. It's using my own account to practice and test out different topics and scripts and see how they do. And if they do well, I just hand those over to other influencers and I'm like, hey, recreate this, but add your own little bit of your own personal touch. And that has led us to this 5K day. And these last 2 days, yesterday and today, to be frank, we have so many traffic sources right now going to the app. I could not tell you. It might be TikTok slideshows, which we just started like a week and a half ago.